The NFL is going to lose 10 to 15% of its audience over the next 5 years. And I know that sounds crazy. By the time we're done with this video, it's not going to sound crazy. And you're going to have an understanding of what you need to do to avoid that for yourself, for your own company, for your own marketing team, as we explore why that's happening. And it's for one fundamental reason. Okay, the reason why I think the NFL is going to lose 5 to 10% of its audience, no, 10 to 15% of its audience over the next 5 years, numbers hard, is because of one thing. And that's their mindset of squeeze and push the audience as far as they can, because the NFL's evil-ish. And it's not something that's unseen before, because what the NFL is doing is basically copying the other sports leagues. So if you don't know, the other sports leagues have been all in. So I said the NBA, Major League Baseball, on diversifying their platforms, getting all the money they possibly can from Apple TV, Peacock, Amazon Prime, and so forth. So for example, I'm a big Yankees fan. If I live in New York and I want to watch the Yankees, I need to buy Yes, which is the Yankees Entertainment Sports Network. I need to buy Peacock. I need to buy Apple TV, and I need to buy Prime, Amazon Prime. That's insane. And what happens when you do this is your core super fans are like, yeah, I'm going to buy all 15,000 of these platforms. But most normal people are like, I'm not doing that. And you see this in the sports world. If you're in the sports world, you see this being talked about, but they don't really fully realize what's going on. You have like Charles Barkley talking about the reason why the NBA is losing all of its audience by the so much audience they've lost is because people are just shooting threes. They're not playing the game as hard. There's load management. The real great stars aren't playing every day, blah, blah, blah. And that is so true. Chuck, as always, is right. That's terrible. That's the terrible impersonation of Charles Barkley. He's right, but it's only part of the story. I don't blame the sports people. They don't know the digital landscape. But part of the other half of the equation is the fact that when you diversify the distribution like that, you only keep your core people. It's going to happen to the NFL as well. Because, by the way, one, their product is not as good as it used to be. And the NFL said, hey, wait a second. If everybody else can do this and they can go to Amazon and Netflix and blah, 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 we can't too because we are the NFL. We're indestructible. But the only thing indestructible is blue steel. But they said, okay, let's go. Thursday Night Football will now be on Amazon Prime. We're going to run Christmas games, and they'll be on Netflix. They're really doubling down on this strategy of getting as much money from all of the streaming platforms as possible. But like the NBA and like Major League Baseball, like everybody else, the NFL is no different. You will lose that ancillary audience. The super fan will pay for all this stuff. The non-super fan will not pay for all this stuff. Now, there is ways to do both a little bit, but that's a different video for a different time. For you, okay, if you're a marketing manager, you're on a marketing team, you're running your own business and you're doing your marketing, you're a marketer of whatever kind, and you're thinking about how far can I push my audience? Stop. That is not the question. The question is not how far you can push your audience. The mistake that the NFL is making and all these other brands are making and leagues are making is the question is not how far can we push the audience. The question is what resonates. What resonates in terms of a product or service is one thing. What resonates in terms of distribution and consumption is a different thing. You need to understand what resonates with, yes, the product, but also with the distribution and how the audience wants to consume that product or service. And when I speak with brands, one of the biggest things I see is they don't think about that. They're not really, yes, everyone thinks about their audience, but they're not thinking about it in a real deep way of what actually resonates. Think about how far can I push, not what actually resonates in terms of both the product or service and the method and consumption, the method of distribution and the consumption. So I urge you to think about that. Otherwise, you're going to end up with this. And this is a sentiment around the NFL's packages. I use a tool called Also Ask. Big shout out to them. And it's tons of questions around why does it have to cost this much? Where can I consume it? Can I consume it here? Can I consume it there? Why does it cost so much? Is it offered there? Why does it cost so much? Why does it cost so much? And why does it cost so much? So big shout out to people Also Ask. They did not sponsor this video. I just like their tool. And if you are on a team, if you are a marketer, if you own a business, you need to have somebody who can understand the sentiment working with you. Because if I was the NFL, I would be able to see this and I'd be like, whoa, maybe we should slow down a little bit. All of this packaging stuff is kind of like blowing up in our faces from a sentiment point of view. Where are we going to be in 5 years from now with this? And it's going to be at a 10 to 15% loss. And now, by the way, is that thought as crazy as you thought it was?